situation with Candace Owens and Turning Point USA is gaining steam and it's turning up. You know, you have people like Tim Pool and so many of these other people on the radical right. They're now bringing on guests that's saying that Charlie Kirk allegedly could have been LGBTQ. Him and his wife may have been getting a divorce. It's all kinds of wild allegations going on now. We know that Candace Owens, she's been on a crusade to find out who unalived her friend Charlie Kirk. Now, she's been going live every other day. 200,000 to 300,000 people have been showing up, right, in her chat to listen to the allegations that she's putting out. She's blamed prime ministers, heads of state, French military, Egyptian military, the protected class military. She's blamed everybody. She's even at some point called out Erica Kirk. She says the people in part of Turning Point USA was complicit so they can get positions. It's gotten so hot and heavy that Turning Point USA, they've had to come out to get out in front of this to make statements because Candace Owens, her celebrity is growing. And where Charlie Kirk was being funded by the Diamond Society to galvanize the young generation, to get them to love the protected class and to espouse MAGA talking point. Turning Point USA was about making America great again. So since he's been unalive, a lot of these other people vying for those positions has been a colossal failure. Candace Owens is the one now. She's the one in positions of power. So now TPUSA, they have to come out and get out in front of this and make these statements.
Ever since Charlie's murder, Candace Owens has leveled a flood of allegations against people at Turning Point USA, people at Turning Point Action, and people who work for this show. She's made them against some of Charlie's closest friends and against some of his most dedicated employees. She has suggested that Michael McCoy, Charlie's chief of staff, knew Charlie would be murdered, was happy that he died, and stayed silent because he was told he would be the next Charlie. She has suggested Michael is not his real name. It is. I have seen his birth certificate myself. She has called it suspicious that Mikey's wife, who works at Turning Point, helped plan the campus tour event where Charlie was murdered, which she didn't, by the way. She doesn't work on campus events. Candace has suggested the Utah Valley University event was unusual and its details suggested a, quote, inside job. She has claimed that foreign aircraft have followed Erica Kirk around the country and that Turning Point has lied about this happening. She has accused us of lying about Charlie wanting Erica to take over for him if he died. She has suggested Charlie's security team intentionally denied him first aid after the shooting to ensure that he died. She has raised suspicions about the head of our technical team because he took an SD card out of a camera. She has spread absurd claims that Tyler Bowe uses male interns. She has suggested that TPUSA faith-affiliated pastors, like theologian Frank Tariq, who we'll have on in a moment, and Pastor Rob McCoy, are part of a military, quote, infiltration of Turning Point, either because they are veterans or because they have family members who are.
So she's made a lot of accusations. She's called them out on so many different levels, and for the last 3 months, they've been quiet. They haven't been saying anything. But I told you guys that the ship is leaking oil. That battle lines are being drawn on who's getting that money from the protected class. You have the Brandon Tatum class, the Jake Shields, the Nick Fuentes, and all these different groups now are coming out and they're vying for position, right? They're vying for position to see who's going to be the one to pick up the mantle where Charlie Kirk left off, and who's going to be the mouthpiece for the young generation espousing these talking points, right? So there's so much competition. And Candace Owens saw the weakness in the game, and now she's exploiting it. She's abandoned talking about the black community and black American culture, and now she's on to the politics part of calling out global politics and these people that's controlling everything, right? So TPUSA, in calling her out to a challenge, they wasn't finished. They doubled down by saying this.
Even if not everyone has been named specifically, though, Candace has effectively tarred everyone here with complicity in Charlie's death by repeatedly saying he was, quote, betrayed by, quote, everyone. She has said Charlie's murder, quote, had to be approved by Charlie's friends, and then suggested those friends might have her murdered too for, quote, knowing the truth. That the ball is in our court. So here's what is going to happen. In the near future, there will be a live stream here in Phoenix where we address in a clear and comprehensive way the claims and accusations, the false accusations that have been made against Charlie's family, friends, and the people here at Turning Point. We plan to walk through everything carefully and thoroughly. If Candace is available, we would sincerely welcome her participation in that live stream at our studio here in Phoenix. At this point, we believe the ball is back in her court. Our motivation for doing this is not out of any obligation to Candace. It is about honoring Charlie.
And see, they're calling her out to a debate in Phoenix, Arizona, right? And they're saying that they want her to come out. Now, there was a lot of people that saying that she shouldn't go out there because anything can happen to her. Do it on a live stream. Don't go out there with your husband or show up there with your team. Show up on a live stream. Bring your facts. Come out to a debate. And she was saying that she want to make sure that Erica Kirk is there. Like I told y'all, man, this thing is crazy because everybody's looking out for their own self-interest right now. That's all it is. I feel like the president has basically went out of his way to destroy MAGA. He doesn't identify with them anyway. He doesn't identify with the average hard-working American man that worked at the plant, or the guy that worked down, the steam fitter or the plumber. Or he don't identify with those guys. He's been rich all his life. He's never went to the store and brought a loaf of bread. So how can he identify with you, with the MAGA crowd? And people are starting to wake up. Because there's a lot of people starting to leave MAGA, right? But again, people have their own self-interest. So with that, you'll see Candace Owens, despite Charlie Kirk being her friend, knowing that Charlie Kirk was married, she's putting out these kind of texts.
Charlie going on dates and the girls that he liked, and me always being the wing woman, and him asking. This text message is one of my favorite text messages between me and Charlie when he was getting ready to go on a date, and he didn't date many people, and he was just kind of in love with this girl, and he was asking me, should I wear this? And this is the text message. It's so sweet. He said, do I have to change this shirt? And I wrote back, yes, and throw it away if you can. Charlie. And he writes, okay.
So, listen, this thing is funny because I told you guys, with the FBA movement gaining steam, right? And we're separating ourselves now. I have a problem saying that we're delineating ourselves from these other groups. The big funders are no longer funding these black people to come out and talk about the black community no more. It doesn't work because we're no longer identifying as Pan-African or this collective group. So now when we separating ourselves from the collective group, right, they can't come out and cosplay as us anymore. It doesn't work. So now the Diamond Society would pay these Brandon Tatum likes, the Candace Owens likes, the Paris Denards, and all these other groups that would come out and say disparaging things about their own people for money because they have no integrity, right? That don't work anymore now because they can't use them as a mouthpiece to talk about us because they don't represent us. They represent their country, their people. So now when you come be talking, you're talking down on your people. They're not us. We've been saying this. So now you start to see MAGA, black MAGA, try to go into these WMAGA spaces, and it's not turning out well for them. It's not turning out well for them at all, man. Look at this.
Black Trump supporters kicked out the MAGA online chat. Let's take a look.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
we're just introducing ourselves. The MAGA people got to stick together. It's one country, one flag. So that's
No. Don't talk about MAGA people, but
the
that
American
was a
people.
shibby-do.
The American people. But
Hold on. Listen, Tropic, you are my co-speaker. You can say whatever you want, but don't you ever tell me like I'm Chase, right?
okay.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Is that true? Hashtag
Black Chicago for Trump.
Miss
That's
Trav.
what it says. Hashtag Black
Yeah.
Chicago for Trump.
So who's Tropic? Do you know Tropic?
Tropic?
Yeah.
I'm new to this whole Twitter space.
What brought you into space?
I told you I saw my friend was in here and it showed up at the top of my screen.
And so who's your friend?
Miss Trevian.
Who's your friend?
Miss Trevian.
Okay. So Miss Trevian, what brought her in here?
You gotta ask her.
You?
Mr. Tropic sent me a DM
and said that he was going to be in a space. Mr. Tropic, I say next time, don't ever bring these people in here.
Oh.
I don't want to talk to them ever
You have to
again.
talk to me.
Wow.
I have a national radio show. I don't have to be in here with you. I was just trying to make
But no. So listen, T-Ray, pay attention to this.
So MAGA never included them, and this is the thing: black folks knew that, but they can't stand their people so much. They're willing to do anything, sacrifice their integrity. They're willing to sacrifice anything for W acceptance, for W validation. So they'll try to trot themselves up over there. And them W folks say, "Who told you were coming in? We don't rock with y'all. I don't care if you the boy on the block with the hot Glock or the black person in the suit in the boardroom. You all the same to me. We don't want you around our people. We want to be separated from you people." They've been saying this. Y'all didn't get the memo. Oh, yes, you did. You just like them dollars and selling out your own community. Now they don't need you no more. When they finish with their tools, they break them. They don't need you. Tariq Nasheed been calling this out for some time now, calling them mascots.
Y'all notice that whole MAGA crowd / alt-right crowd, Turning Points, Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, all of these people, these guys, there's like a civil war with them right now. There's a civil war with these people right now. And they are imploding internally. See, and they're collapsing on their own arrogance. See, all the common denominator that a lot of these people have is anti-black grievance. They sit around and just throw darts at black folks. So when the glue that holds that coalition together is hatred rather than principle, it starts collapsing under pressure. Even the black mascots like Candace Owens, now they're lashing out. Because the black mascots are losing relevance. Because the foundational Black American delineation movement, that has changed the game. The tether mascots, they come around here basically weaponizing anti-black stereotypes for white audiences. So instead of a message landing as constructive criticism, it's basically an outsider attacking us on behalf of white society. So that strips all of their talking points from any kind of credibility, exposes them as useful tools of white supremacy. We've exposed their cultural ignorance. Yeah, we've shown that these people ain't got the same culture as us. They don't understand the culture. I love what Charlemagne did on The Breakfast Club with Candace Owens. He gave her the black test. That really showed how disconnected to black culture she is. He was like, "Candace, let me test you out to see how black you are. If somebody say God is good, what do you say?" Jesus is great. I don't know. She didn't even know. You understand what I'm saying? So the delineation movement, and I do this with these tethers when they come on here and try that, we give them the black test and they're just like a deer in headlights. That shows these people can't speak for us because they don't understand the simple nuances of the damn culture. You ain't. And now white society and white conservatives, they can't pretend that these mascots represent black society no more. See, for decades, the GOP and all these people, they relied on non-FBA safe black faces to say all the little anti-black things that white audiences couldn't say publicly. So this delineation movement destroyed that tactic by revealing that these people are not culturally connected with us. They're not rooted in our struggle.
So I've been telling you that the ship has been leaking oil, man. Donald Trump, he's going to be in office for a couple more years. And listen, it's going to go this way. But when Donald Trump is out, these people are going to be in a lot of trouble, man, because they've done a lot of things to alienate a lot of people in the country. I'm not a Donald Trump fan. I'm not a Democrat fan at all. Being a black American from a city like Philadelphia, an all-black city, I don't support the Democratic Party one bit. I don't like the Republicans either, but I respect the fact the Republicans tell you who you are to your face. They call you out to your face. They tell you that they don't mess with you. They call you what they call you to your face. The Democrats act like they're your friend and they put their arms around you and act like we all good. But the problem with black folks, the mistake you guys make is you think that The only racist W folks in this country is the Republicans and the Democrats ain't. No, they the same. They dislike you even more. They bringing all these immigrants in your city right in front of your face, despite your gripes, despite you supporting them and replacing you with all these different groups, right? They put these programs in the community for so many years and allowed you to not flourish on these programs that's been in place for 30, 40 years. And the black people are worse off than they was before the programs came. And you think that they're your friends? You think that they're your allies? Wake up, my people. We're in a new day. No, the Democrats have never been our friends. The Republicans, we already know that they're not our friends. We know that they're not our friends from when we were first Republicans, before we switched over, right? So, like, listen, man, Candace Owens, all these groups is getting what they deserve, man. They all getting what they deserve. We have no allies, and we never had allies. And the sad part is, we got some FBA in our lineage that's not our friends, man. They are complete sellouts, complete sellouts. The grassroots FBA are the ones now that's making the moves. That's making the moves. They're starting to wake up and saying, we're not going by that no more. We're not rocking with that no more. That's not a part of us no more. Right? And that's just the way it got to be in order to get the change, man. But I like the fact that the radical right ship is leaking oil, man. And, you know, Candace Owens is getting exposed. TPUSA is getting exposed. And lastly, you guys got to stop saying, well, this is what you voted for. As if you voted for the Democrats, everything would have been all right. No, it's not. Not for black Americans. The Democrats ain't our friends. They're not our friends. So I just want to leave it there. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.